Hi guys, this is Rebecca with Create with Rebecca, and today I'm back with the video to kind of do a little catch up on my one little word. If you've been following me, or actually I haven't done a lot of posting about my word this year, which is change, and basically I'm using a traveler's notebook to do my monthly prompts that Allie Edwards, which she has a whole year worth of documentation that you can do, whether it's creative, writing, thinking, those kind of things, that you basically choose a word every year, or you choose a word at the beginning of the year. I've been doing it for several years, so that's why I say I choose a word every year. But you choose a word at the beginning of the year, and then every month, at the first of the month, she sends you prompts to do to kind of like refresh your thought process on why you chose that word. So my word this year is change. And, you know, it's actually kind of going in a different, not different directions, but somewhat different directions. And so I kind of wanted to kind of just do a little preview of what I've been up to. So basically I use a traveler's notebook. This is a Webster's Pages traveler's notebook. And I basically just went in and created a few inserts. This is one that actually came in it. But, if you see at the beginning, if you want to research my old videos, if you haven't seen these, then I kind of show you my thought process on putting this together. So basically, I'm not going to kind of go over this in case you've already seen it, but I put a lot of goals at the beginning of the year. I write out different things of what I want to see, and it's so interesting to go back in a year from now and look at it. A lot of times, I can go back in and read it and see, you know, just kind of reset my mind onto what I would like to see or do or change. And so, or change, that's my word I'm using this year. But basically, and as you can see, every prompt I do, and then I also kind of do a beginning of the month is a brain dump, which is, there's so much going on in my head, I just want to get it down on paper, and then that way I can, from then on, I can plan and execute what I have going on. So, but what I want to talk about too is, I think this was a February. Yes, in February she had a idea, and I know there's where they have a whole year where you can check off. Basically, you pick a task, or you pick a thing or something that you want to do, and every day you try to do that particular thing or idea, and you mark it off that you did it that day, you know, so, or your goal. Well, I put exercise in here, and then I think this was a month that I kind of got sick or something, and yeah, a whole 4 days, woohoo, yeah, that's pretty bad. But I think, you know, just things happen. But I didn't want to give up on it. I basically want to just kind of figure out a new routine. I've been kind of on the back burner of exercising, and if anybody knows, you have to move the body, you know. So March, you know, again, it's a lot of creative journaling to me too that helps me kind of reconnect with my word. And then again, yeah, not a whole lot of exercise in the month of March either, but that's okay. It was more, you know, than I was doing, so I feel pretty good about that. I also joined a gym here, so that gives me more opportunity to be able to exercise during my lunch hour, and be able to work out and take a shower and those kind of things. So her prompt for March was basically kind of like a vision board, and I really like this, and I'm going to show you kind of up close. Just, I used words, and I used stickers, and basically that's kind of how I did my vision board. Just different things that I want to, you know, focus, set my goals, dream, and a lot of it has to do with my creative business. So that's kind of you know, that was my March prompt. And then I come into April, which is this month that we're currently in, and I always like to do brain dump. But what also I found from doing this my priorities, which is what I really wanted to change this year, it kind of relapsed back, or I made some choices that it didn't go in the direction of what I want. So that was kind of interesting to see that, where I had to step back and say, wait a minute, look what you're already finding yourself prioritizing over what you really wanted to this year. So going back to the whole monthly thing, this is something that she really just set up for the February prompt, but I'm going to try to, my goal is to do it every month, because now, just going back to the word change, it wasn't all about exercise. That has a lot to do with just physical well-being and mental well-being. I know that being active plays a big part in that, so I think that was something that I really want to document on fitting into my lifestyle and changing up my schedule to fit that into my life. So as you can tell, this month I'm actually not doing too shabby, but I kind of changed it up a little bit, because I got my little Fitbit and I basically exercise. Okay, so what did you do? You know, did you get your steps in? That's kind of what I'm gearing this month to, is documenting my steps. And I did a Fitbit challenge with some other planner friends, and I tell you what, that at first I was like, oh, there's no way I can get these steps in, but then it makes you want to do those steps. It makes you want to say, hey, I did meet my goal today. So that is kind of fun to be part of, and I'm really, really happy with myself. Today's the 9th, but I don't know if I'm going to get my 10,000 in, but that's okay. I mean, it's a work in progress. So anyway, the next prompt is basically just kind of asking yourself questions, you know, what does it mean to change, and what am I doing? And part of my process that I just had today was looking back at what I'm prioritizing in my life. Is that what, because that was the big thing for me, is changing. So I'm always running around like crazy trying to do too many things, and then I try to overschedule myself, and so that was one of my reasons for changing this year. As for one of the reasons I selected the word. So looking back at what my commitments are, or what I put on my top list of to-dos, it's, you know, I need to start rethinking that. So, but just good. I love that. That's what this is. It's all a work in progress. I love the prompts. I love keeping this. I love the fact that now I'm keeping up with my daily activities as far as exercising and getting my steps in, or, you know, just being physically active. I can tell a big difference just from the last few weeks of, you know, I look at it, I'm like, ooh, almost, if you look at it, look, that's almost 2 weeks. Okay, I kind of went off there on 1 week. But, you know, of getting my buns back out there, so to speak. So anyway, well, I appreciate you watching, and I again hope you're inspired to do Ali Edwards' One Little Word. You know, and like she says, if you don't get to one of the prompts 1 month, it's not the end of the world. Just pick up where you have, or you may select a word halfway through and say, hey, this isn't really working for me, but that's part of life and part of learning and just moving on. So anyway, I appreciate you stopping in, and I'll see you in my next video.